Mount Joshua Comics, new Hollywood Reporter article out about the retooling of the MCU. How Marvel is quietly retooling amid superhero fatigue.
Okay.
I don't know that it's fatigue. It's just quality.
Yeah.
People will come if it's a good movie.
Writing and stuff.
Okay, so first our sponsor.
Your new multi-vendor marketplace, YouSellComics.com, offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect, sell.
Okay, this article is by Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch. Came out last week at 6:45 a.m. From the Hollywood Reporter.
Checks
okay,
out.
just over a year ago, Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania was set to take Marvel Studios to the next level. I don't know about that. Did anyone have really high expectations for Quantumania in the first place? Like, the previous two Ant-Mans did fine as a box office thing, but they weren't a huge hit like Guardians. I mean, it made like 400 or 500 million each one, but it wasn't like...
Yeah.
I don't know. A new villain was going to be introduced, setting the stage for several years worth of storytelling. The movie itself was a giant sizing of a franchise that was previously modest in scope. Instead, the Peyton Reed directed movie heralded a year's worth of missteps, box office blunders, and PR nightmares. It was also uncharted territory for Marvel, which had steadily been generating box office gold for 15 years. But the Disney division is in the midst of a pretty darn good February, all things considered, despite the general gloom that surrounds the superhero genre as of late. The Super Bowl trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine became the most watched trailer of all time, with 365 million views in 24 hours. God damn. Wow. All time.
Yeah.
Yeah, superheroes movies are dead. Yes, Disney's math includes the 123 million people who tuned in for the game, which includes just 30 seconds of the trailer, but the Super Bowl fudging or not, the clip's reach was an encouraging number for a studio whose last movie, The Marvels, became the lowest grossing in MCU's 33 film run, hitting just 206 million globally. Next came the Valentine's Day unveiling of the cast of Fantastic Four: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ian Moss Barack, and Joseph Quinn, coupled with retro art teasing of a 1960s setting for the movie. We all know that they're the first family. A day later, Marvel launched the trailer for X-Men 97, a revival of the 1990s cartoon that debuts in March. The trailer set an internal Disney record as the biggest launch for an animated series on Disney Plus, ahead of other Marvel shows such as What If and any animated Star Wars series. These public-facing moves come as studio boss Kevin Feige recalibrates the creative direction behind the scenes. Early in February, the company completed reshoots for Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, the WandaVision spin-off starring Catherine Hahn that is expected Disney Plus this fall. The company usually budgets 5 days of reshoots into the schedule, but the studio completed the work in just one, fueling a sunny outlook around the show internally, according to the sources associated with the series. I mean, Catherine Hahn's fantastic, so not surprising it only took 1 day to get some scenes right. The studio also quietly hired Eric Pearson to polish a script for Fantastic Four, which will shoot this summer in London. Pearson is a company stalwart who worked on Thor Ragnarok and Black Widow, and has a reputation for taking projects over the finish line. The stakes for that movie are high, as the studio is still searching for characters and actors who can carry its universe forward after the exits of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Marvel also hired Joanna Callow, the showrunner of acclaimed FX series The Bear, to work on the script for Thunderbolts. The Hollywood Reporter has learned the film will begin shooting in March in Atlanta. Her hiring adds a flare of prestige to the project, which stars Florence Pugh, and according to a source who has read previous drafts of the script, centers on villains and anti-heroes going on a mission that was supposed to end with their deaths. Like Suicide Squad?
Imagine.
Marvel is also coming up with the creative mess left in the wake of Jonathan Majors, the once rising actor cast to play the linchpin villain role in the next Avengers movies, but who in December was found guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and harassment in a Manhattan court after a domestic incident with his ex-partner, a movement coach he met while working on Ant-Man and the Wasp. Marvel dropped Majors hours after the conviction and is rewriting those movies, which will now either minimize the character or excise him entirely. The first of the new Avengers movies due out in 2026 was initially titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, but will be getting a new title to remove the character's name, though sources say that even before Major's conviction, the studio was making moves to minimize the character after Quantum Mania underperformed.
Of course they were.
So they... that's interesting. Because I guess... they had already included him in Loki. So...
Yeah.
They were going to have to put him in season 2 anyways, even if Quantumania had underperformed or overperformed. So they couldn't really get away from him from Loki 2, season 2. Is it possible they were actually had planted the seeds to get away from him in Quantumania and they just couldn't change Loki season 2? Or maybe that's why they changed the ending of Loki season 2 to like we have an out and now all the Kangs are gone? I don't know.
I would agree to that, and I also think that they were giving themselves like different outs, basically, is what it kind of felt like. So, yeah, it's crazy because it's such a weird. It's not weird. It's such a finicky situation for a multi-billion-dollar company like that to do, and then we talked about it before, is that they didn't want to pull another James Gunn, so they waited.
Him and hire him back.
Yeah, they waited until they had official confirmation, some type of conviction or whatever. But you and I had mentioned before, and I think this is anything but rings true, is that Disney may be daft sometimes. But they're definitely not stupid. And I think that they pretty much knew what was going to happen.
How dare you?
That's right. I think they knew what was going to happen. So I think they were, they had all their plans together and multiple outs. And they got lucky with Loki season 2. And I think that was an easy kind of like fade out. But what I suspect might happen is that after we get Fantastic Four, I feel like they're going to use how the reception is with that movie, and then I feel like they might bring him back, not Majors, but they'll bring Kang back as a different variation somehow, some way, in possibly Secret Wars or whatever. I just don't see them putting Kang in Avengers, whatever number it was supposed to be. Considering that it was supposed to be the name of the movie, and so 5. Putting him in it again for some reason, I don't know, it just seems silly to me. But multiple, I think it's multiple exit strategies versus also being able to have that character still if they wanted to. But I don't see him popping up anytime soon.
I would be fine with Coleman Domingo taking over.
Absolutely. Everyone that they've mentioned so far to replace him has been, I'll take that all day.
I don't know if his name is mentioned, but Sterling K. Brown would be fucking killer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Okay, so on the TV side, Marvel has begun reorganizing its operations to allow for greater control from showrunners, a move made after the critical failure of the expensive Samuel L. Jackson spy series A Secret Invasion, which sidelined executive producer Kyle Bradstreet after a year with various creative factions vying for influence in his wake. The show had about 2.5 billion minutes of viewing over its 6-week run, per Nielsen, in the bottom third of Marvel's live-action Plus offerings so far. Focus is internal this year, says one insider, of all the tinkering going on behind the scenes. Execs are not calling it a reboot, not even a soft one, but more of a creative retooling. It's no secret that...
Don't call it a reboot.
Since the 2019 Avengers Endgame, the company was asked to scale up in an unprecedented way to feed its fledgling streaming service. Disney Plus, then a top priority for Disney, which was in the thick of streaming wars, first under the direction of Disney Bob Iger, and later it's his short-lived successor Bob Chapek. Marvel expanded into TV series and animation with the goal of the MCU becoming a place with a seemingly endless procession of year-round releases. It was an ask that proved too unwieldy to sustain, especially with their model of filming stuff and fixing it in post. Like, wow, we'll build in 10 reshoot days and we'll fix what doesn't work instead of having a showrunner like a traditional show. I really think if they had gone the traditional way of making television with a book bible and a showrunner who has final say, these shows wouldn't. Some of these shows wouldn't have been as bad as they, or at least not as uneven as they ended up being. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like, Secret Invasion.
Wasted opportunity.
Oh my god. There's like what, 3 scenes in that entire show
Yeah.
where I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I like this. And then the rest of the time I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? But why did he? Yeah, but surely she won't. And then it's like, what the fuck? So, yes, I would say that if you have multiple amounts of your audiences doing that, saying that, and acting that way in a negative stance, which it was, not good, man. Like, you need that. Like, I don't understand how they don't realize this. I mean, they're realizing it now, but I don't know how they didn't realize back then.
I mean, they broke the mold for how to build a universe, a cinematic universe. They they got it right, but then their egos got too big, and they're like, oh, we know how to do TV better than all the other networks who have been successful winning Emmys, AMC, FX
for 40 years.
Yeah, HBO, we know better than them. Yeah, and they learned their lesson, and now they're doing showrunners, and I'm sure the television will get infinitely better. Some of our studios lost a little focus, so the first step that we've taken is we've reduced volume. Iger said on a February 7 earnings call, we've reduced output, particularly at Marvel, in order to ensure the films that you're making can be even better. As Hollywood strikes ended in November, the studio delayed Captain America New World Order 7 months to February 14th, 2025. Oh, Valentine's Day. To give it time to undergo reshoots. Iger touted Captain America 4, starring Anthony Mackie, as among the 2025 Disney releases he was most excited for. During the earnings call, he did not mention Blade, leading to speculation to be moved from its November 2020 date. It's unlikely Marvel will release 4 films that, given Iger's mandate to slim down. The dual writers and actors strike, while costly to Hollywood, ironically gave Marvel breathing space. It was able to reschedule its movies so that only Deadpool and Wolverine will release in 2024, and only 2 series, Echo and Agatha, are bowing on Disney Plus this year. Other movies remain in the script stage, while TV shows such as Ironheart have filmed, but no release date in sight. It is all designed to give creatives some breathing room and give audiences the chance to miss the MCU just a little bit. They're not going to give up, says a source who has worked with Marvel the past year. They want to make something great. Well, who thought they were going to give up? Not a ton of surprising news in there, other than they want to get away from majors even before the accusations, given the underperforming of Antman. I honestly think Antman would have done better if Antman had died.
Somebody should have died in that fucking movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I don't understand. Well, I mean, I do. I feel like they panicked and they changed whatever the hell they were gonna do to make the movie matter. And
you could have given Cassie and Hank Pym even more motivation in the next whatever Young Avengers, whatever they're gonna do. To avenge her dead Ant-Man father. You could have built a stronger character in Cassie, giving her something to grieve about, other than, oh, look, it all worked out, we're good. And you would have made Kang the Conqueror actually scary. I mean, it's funny because even though I agree with all of that and it should have been different, weirdly at the very end with that him being super anxious at the dinner table and overthinking it, or I think that's extremely relatable. That was good. And they could have even had that as the end, even if someone did die or he's in mourning or whatever, and he's anxious about did we actually blah blah blah,
I think there was a lot of potential there, and they just kind of wasted.
Yep.
Wasted, dude.
Okay, well that's Marvel retooling video. Thanks.
Thanks.